Welcome to the Drivin Agricultural Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Jo Hollabaugh, professional breakaway roper and a member of the AgTruckTrader Pro Rodeo Team. Here at Drivin Agriculture, we are all things agriculture all the time, and our main priority is doing what's best in the ag space, talking trucks. So strap in and let's go roll some coal. Okay, everyone, welcome back to Drivin Agricultural Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Jo Hollabaugh, and I am here with the one and only, our team leader, Mr. Leighton Berry. Leighton, thanks for coming to the show today.
Oh, thanks for having me. We have some pretty exciting news to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So last week, everybody that first listened to our very first episode on the podcast heard that we had a huge announcement, this week. I'm so excited. I couldn't decide what words to say. So we have a really big announcement, and we're going to let the one and only LB bring it to the forefront. So tell us what we've been waiting on, what this huge announcement is.
Well, in a roundabout way, Jordan, we've come a long way with this rodeo team through AgTruckTrader, and we're so happy to announce that AgTruckTrader is going to be the official ag truck professional rodeo. So all the new AgWagons, the Pro Rodeo Edition ag trucks, they're all going to be through Pro Rodeo, and we're so excited to announce that partnership and to see how far this company has come along and brought this to the front table of professional rodeo. To make this happen this quick is unbelievable, and we're just so happy to announce it.
100%. Well, and I know that you and I are both very excited because we are getting our own ag wagons, which we'll talk about that in a second. But to come up with this, like really why it's so special is because this has been in fruition for a couple years for us. But I just remember coming on the AgTruckTrader Pro Rodeo Team. You know, it was just so new and real, and we're actually a team component. We have somebody in every event. To then now 2 years later showing up and we're the official partner of the PRCA. We're knocking in at big doors here. Tell me what this partnership means to you as you come along and announce like, hey, we're the official truck of the Pro Rodeo.
Well, it's just a game changer, really. I had no idea where this was all going to go whenever this first came about, and I'm known as the team leader, and I'm very proud to have that title. And even though we all share the floor equally, and it's really just been a huge blessing in all of our lives, I know. And now to be able to kind of change the game and step into pro rodeo like this, and when people see these professional rodeo ag wagons going up and down the road, they're unlike anything I've ever seen. And I really think it's gonna be a whole new era for pro rodeo and the way we travel. So I know you're looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see what my Capri camper looks like on one and going up and down the road to make the NFR. So it's something that's really new and exciting, and these trucks will be, you can get one in a Ford or a Dodge. So I know Dodge has been, partnered with the PRCA for a long time, but now we're able to branch in with different brands of vehicles. So you'll be seeing Ford and Dodge ag wagons going up and down the road, and wait till you hear about all the modifications these things have. It's unbelievable.
That's what I was just about to say. So also to add on to that, I got to go and experience the reveal in person. We It was amazing. Just watching them pull the curtains off the ag wagon. Like you and I had seen specs, we'd seen photos, we'd heard about it behind the scenes, very low key. We can't talk about this, but like actually seeing it in person, it was rank. I mean, it was the fact that like every component that we had discussed was in this truck. And that's one thing that really hit home for me is the team at Fox Factory as well as AgTruckTrader. We got on this call. It's been a few months ago, and they were like, if you could have your perfect pro rodeo vehicle to get up and down get up and down the trail, what is it? What is it? What does it have in it? What does that look like? And it literally had everything we talked about. And for me, it was like I actually saw where there's 28 components. We'll let you talk a little bit about that in a second, but how every single one of those things could apply in what we're doing in rodeo. And then also it's built for everything agriculture, right? So you can have it on the ranch, on the farm. I could, I'll just throw it back in your corner. I could see you checking cows in it. And also then I could see you putting your Capri camper on it. So talk a little bit about what you're most excited. There are 28 components with the ag wagon and what Fox Factory has put on this truck. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's like the coolest part. I mean, what a dream come true to be able to be on a phone call with like the people from Fox that are giving you an opportunity to create a truck. I mean, we're far along now. We're in 2025, so to be thinking about talking to such a prestigious company about building a brand new pickup truck, I mean, really something you don't get to be a part of every day. So like you said, there's 28 components, and there was 14 different farmers and ranchers that came together on these calls and made this truck into what it is today. And like you said, us as a team got to sit on a call with them and just throw ideas and toss ideas around. And personally, I never got told which ones were going to, come to fruition or not. And then when we got to see the truck, like you said, there was several things that we talked about that they added to this truck, and you're just going to have to really see it for yourself to see how it works and how it functions, because pretty much every nook and cranny on this vehicle is something that is related to what we do, whether it's going up and down the road professionally rodeoing, or like you said, feeding cattle at home, working on the farm, ranch. Doesn't matter what it is, it has everything that you can possibly imagine. And to be able to, I know it's going to help because for me, getting a truck and bringing it home and looking at it completely dry and empty, and me knowing that I've got to put a lot of time and effort into getting it to where I need for work, for rodeo, and whatever that may be, that all goes away now. You can get this truck, and as soon as it arrives at your doorstep, you're ready to go put it to work. And I think that's what's going to be a game changer, because we know how busy farmers and ranchers and us rodeoing, and most of us doing all three, how little time we have to step away and try to get our vehicle ready to do what we need it to do and perform the way we need it to perform. So that's what I'm looking most forward to, is seeing the smile on people's faces when they have a truck come to their doorstep. They're ready to put it to work.
Absolutely, and I think that that is a great point, because it's like you said, it's kinda like you're ready to step in and go after what you need to do. You're not worried about putting the winch on there, putting the bumper on there. It has a Starlink, so we can be connected literally anywhere and everywhere we go. It's got a CB radio. Jackie, for her, there's a dog bed in the back, so if you want that for her 10 dogs that she's got, because she's a barrel racer.
Any
um
barrel racer, really.
any barrel racer can use this, but I mean, literally, it's ready to go and work for you. I love how you said that, and it truly is. Like, when I actually saw it in person, I'm like, "Man, give me that key. Let's roll. It's ready to go." And so that's what I loved about it too, and you can build it out for what benefits you. There's some components on there that maybe you don't want to use, or you don't think you would use, which at some point I'm like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna use that." But if not, build it for how it works for you. You get it on your doorstep, you get in it, it's ready to go.
100%.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Pro Rodeo Special Edition AgWagon. So that was actually what we revealed. We got to see it. It had the Pro Rodeo emblem on the truck, in the seats, in the console. It was pretty neat. Being a pro rodeo cowboy for as long as you have been, and just the accolades that you've accomplished in your career, what does it mean to you to have been a part of pro rodeo? We'll just say outside of the arena. You're creating history here. You're setting a legacy, and you're helping bring your partners at AgTruckTrader and Certified Ag Group and PRCA together. What does that mean to you?
It's unbelievable just to think about, the guys back in the day rodeoing in these Ford or Dodge trucks, and how far they've come through this amazing technology and engineering. To be able, you just don't really think that you would ever have the chance to play an actual hand in that, right? I mean, there's so many trucks being manufactured all over the world, and obviously Ford and Dodge has been around for so long, and to be able to be right at the doorstep of that and watch something be, like you said, the curtain pulls back, and it sends chills down your spine, because we all had a little piece in doing it. And thanks to the people that we're blessed to work with at the Ag Truck Trader um, team. I mean, it's something that I never thought I would get to do, and to be able to sit with my good friends and design this truck and actually have a say in what happens or doesn't, and them, hearing ideas from us that they never really thought of, because they're so busy working on the inside and outs of the technology and engineering, and us doing what we do. They gave us the opportunity to say, hey, that we've been driving these trucks for our whole lives. If we could change these few things, it would make literally a world of difference. And then them to listen and go forth with it. I mean, I never thought that that day would come, but here we are, literally putting together a brand new pickup truck, and now we get to go put it to test and show people how amazing this truck is and what it's capable of doing. I mean, I'm ready for my keys.
Well, I got my keys already. So that was my next question.
Ladies first, I
Ladies
guess.
first. Thank you. So just to wrap this up, we're going to talk a little bit about the engineering on the next piece of this podcast, because Mr. Scott Vickery at the Fox Factory is going to tell us all the components, what's all in this truck, and everything like that. This next podcast we're coming up, but I want to hear it from you. What truck are you going to get, and why?
So I can't say that I I prefer either one, but I have driven a Dodge pickup since I've had my driver's license, and I've been traveling in a Ford here and there. So I've seen kind of the pros and cons of both vehicles. I'm really, really high on the Fords right now. I think most are. They're even capable. Usually, I've only ever had a dually. I've never had a single wheel truck. But the way these Fords perform, how powerful they are, and these Capri campers that we're putting on them, and the way they're able to manufacture them and keep them light while still being sturdy to go up and down the road and travel 50,000 miles a year. I'm going to go with a single wheel Ford. It's going to be black. Going to have a black rig, black camper, chrome box. It's kind of the rig that I've been dreaming of putting together since I pretty much started rodeoing with the camper, and then knowing that I can take that camper off whenever I'm not full time rodeoing and put it to work and use it in the farm and ranch world. I mean, you can't really ask for much more. I know I'm not pulling a big heavy horse trailer like you are up and down the road. I'm sure you're going with a dually, but yeah, I'm going to be in a Ford single wheel black truck. It's going to be pretty sharp.
That sounds like it's gonna be sharp. Like, it just came every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man, although you're taken. But it's gonna be rank. I can't wait to see it with your Capri camper on it. Just like we said, literally can go in the rodeo arena, at the farm, at the ranch, whatever we need it to do, it's gonna do. This ag wagon is awesome. So, LB, thanks for joining us today. We're excited about this new Pro Rodeo Edition and the partnership with the Ag Wagon, Ag Truck Trader, and all things rodeo. Thanks for joining us, and best of luck down the road.
Jordan Joe, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I'm here today with Mr. Scott Vickery. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I've messed his name up several different times. I called him Scott Victory all day long, but he has been a victor for the AgTruckTrader Pro Rodeo Team because he's brought us what we see right behind us, the Ag Wagon. So, Scott, I want to take it back just a little bit here. Last year at NADA, which is where we're at here today in New Orleans, Louisiana, you had a vision and you brought it to Mr. Pat Driscoll, and you were like, "Hey, I want to make something happen here." So, talk to us about that vision and what that was and how it's come into fruition.
I think the biggest thing that I would say there is not necessarily just a year ago, but if we step back to my relationship with the Certified Ag Group and being part of that, I've known Pat now for almost 10 years. And so understanding his passion and the how the Certified Ag program helps dealers better understand agricultural customers kind of gave me insight and an understanding of like what else was out there. And Pat and I had kept up and talked over the years about how we could work together. Was it Ag Pack? Was there something that we could do? But we kept coming back to the fact that you still have to buy a truck to essentially trigger all of the other things that come into it. And so the thought was, instead of like working around the truck, why don't we develop a purpose-built agricultural truck that's not brand reliant? We could build it on a Ram, a Ford, a Chevy, a GMC, to giving us the flexibility that we need in terms of, the ultimate consumer could choose their chassis, but the parts and pieces really represent that ag wagon. And I think that's the piece as we looked at it and started doing the conversations about, hey, we're not just going to go build a truck. We stepped back and said, how do we do this? And so we brought in the 14 different farmers and ranchers. I mean, Peyton was involved in it. It's like everybody gave their feedback. This is what I do. This is what I change. This is what I like. This is what I dislike. And what we ended up with was a list of like 28 modifications to the truck. And here's the thing that really kind of just, I think it's cool how it came together. This is truly the first purpose-built agricultural vehicle, across the board. Right. But it also looks amazing. Yeah. And everybody that walks by is like, oh, that thing's functional. Damn, that thing looks cool. You just it's such a fun experience to see it. And it's not just farmers and ranchers. I mean, we have people come to buy, do I have to be a farmer to buy that truck? And I think, obviously, we talk about there's a Yellowstone effect. There's whatever it is. I mean, just because I put on a cowboy hat is not going to make me a cowboy. But there are people out there that would do that, and I think that's the piece where we can laugh about it. But the truck itself, how it's designed, why it's designed, who designed it, I think that is really the star of the show, because it truly delivers everything people are asking for.
Well, and I think too, you said purpose-driven truck, and that is literally like, as I was in those conversations, we were in the focus groups, and we're like, if you could build us our dream truck, this is what it would be. And there's a lot of us that we rodeo professionally, but we also have an agricultural production at home of some sort. And so I didn't really know that it could really come into fruition. And you guys have done that. Like literally everything we asked for is on this truck. What do you think the market is as you're talking? Hey, you don't just have to be in agriculture. You don't have to be in rodeo to buy this truck. What do you think the market is here and where do you see it going?
I think one of the interesting things for me as we expand the brands, obviously we've got the Ford, we've got Ram, we're going into the GM side of it. I think what you're going to start to see is as it gains exposure, as we start, with the PRCA announcement today, I mean, that's just mind blowing. It's so cool. But I think that's going to open up some opportunity. The shows and events that this truck's been at. I was at Farm Science Review. Everybody that walked by was just like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is amazing!" And they didn't look at it and go, "Oh, I could find a cheaper bumper, or I could find this, or I could find that." They were like, "This thing is absolutely done right."
Yeah.
That's the piece that I think as people see it and experience it and touch it, you guys are out driving them, it's at events and people can actually experience the truck and see all of those little things, the hat rack, the pet carrier, the camera system for you to be able to see your horses as you're driving down the road, just to give you that peace of mind and security that your horses are okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, that's the piece to me that I think as people see it, touch and experience it, that's going to be the driving difference in this market. We've already got requests from, AgPack partners.
Yep.
Hey, can we put our sales team in these? We have other fleet customers that have seen it that are maybe in oil and gas or, some type of pipeline construction, power line type stuff saying this truck actually fits the needs of us. Now, would that be an AgWagon, if it's oil and gas? Probably not, but still, that's the thing about this truck is the function, the form, the durability, the testing on it. I think it's resonating with a lot of people.
100%. And I think you look at this truck and it has an atmosphere. Honestly, it just does. It's fancy, it's classy. You walk by it and it stops you. And then, like you said, you get in there. Like the first thing when I opened the door and I got in there, just sitting in that seat, like I just felt like I was at home. All the functionalities of it, I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I'm like, what can I do first? So it's exciting. We're going to come back and we're going to talk on Drivin Agricultural Podcast with you in April, and we're going to unpack this whole truck. We're going to go from top to bottom. We're going to talk to the Fox factory engineers as well and just unbunk all of this. What is the most that you're looking forward to about the AgWagon and getting it out there on the market? What are you looking forward to and why?
I think the thing that I would say there is there's been a lot of work, a lot of time and energy. The design team, the engineering team, the marketing team, everybody's been working in the background. And this truck sat undercover for 2 days and now people are finally seeing it. I think that's the piece that excites me most is allowing the team to see the fruits of their labor and just really see how cool it is and the reactions of people. And, you're talking about it. There's a lot of people talking about this truck. And that's the thing I would say most. Thank you to the teams. Thank you to everybody for their hard work and dedication to make sure that this truck delivered. It did. And so now let's have fun with it and go from there.
100%. Well, thank you for joining us today on Drivin Agriculture. We look forward to having you back in April, and we will see you down the road. I'm here today at the NADA in New Orleans, Louisiana with Mr. Paul Woody, CMO of the PRCA Rodeo. We had some pretty exciting news today. We announced a big partnership with PRORODEO and the Certified Ag Group. Tell us a little bit about that, Paul.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We had to leave Colorado and come down here to Louisiana. We could have just done this at the office, been a little bit better. But no, we were extremely excited today to announce that AgTruck is going to be the official licensed truck partner of Pro Rodeo, and we announced the PRORODEO Special Edition, which visually I think is the coolest thing we've ever done.
Well, and we're actually standing here right in front of the PRORODEO Special Edition AGwagon. It's rank. I'm just going to say that. There's Pro Rodeo decal all over that. If you're a Pro Rodeo cowboy, you're going to want this. If you're a Pro Rodeo fan, you're going to want this. Talk about what that branding does for you and Pro Rodeo and the longevity.
There's 40 million people that would call themselves Pro Rodeo fans, and you've never had an opportunity to do something that wasn't just a t-shirt or a jacket. And so for this, somebody gets to really wear their colors of the PRCA and support the Cowboys. This is going to be a opportunity for the PRCA, opportunity for our Cowboys financially, but it also makes sense. It's a truck that is usable. It matches what they need every day. And whether you're on the ranch, on the farm, or you just want to drive around the neighborhood, you're going to look really cool in this thing.
Well, and I think that's one thing we talked about as we talked to Mr. Scott with Fox and all the things they've put into this. It's a common sense. It makes sense. We'll just go rodeo, whether you're a timed event rough stock, there is a place for you in this ag wagon and all the components that it has in here, in agriculture, in rodeo, and all the things. Talk about where you think that's going to play a role as it's the official PRCA truck and it goes down the road. Where do you see this going?
Well, first of all, if anybody knows anything about a cowboy, they don't have much time. And so to be able to do this in one package is time efficient and it makes sense. And so for us, I see this growing and it's going to help the network of ag pack dealers, ag truck dealers. And, if you like to be a Chevy guy or a Ram guy or a Ford guy, you're going to be able to get done, or gal, get done what you need to get done. And that's the important thing. Is rodeo is about community. It's about trying to open your arms and welcome everybody that we can into it. And so this does that. It gives us the ability to work with every OEM, and that's something we've never been able to do before.
Well, and I think that's exciting. The new partnership here, like you said, gives you the versatility to work with every OEM. There's Dodge fans, there's Ford fans, there's GMC fans out there, and so you can literally have the AgWagon put into any one of those vehicles, drive it down the road, drive it at the farm, drive it at the ranch, drive it to the rodeo. So I think that's really exciting. Anybody that's wanting to know, you guys can go to agwagon.com. And you can look at this ag wagon features and all the things that are on this truck. Buy it from a certified ag dealer. Where do you see this? I mean, are we going to see this at a lot of pro rodeos this summer and this fall?
Well, I do know that the Pro Rodeo team is going to be on the road at several rodeos, and so you get to go and check these out. And that's the exciting thing, is that the dealership network is going to grow. And so just because they're not an ag truck dealer now doesn't mean that they're not going to be by July when your local rodeo happens. And so instead of just bringing out 3 regular F-150s or Ram 1500s, they're going to soup that thing up, and they're going to bring out one of these because it draws a lot better than anything else.
It is beautiful. So I anticipate to see a lot of ag wagons this year on the rodeo road. Thank you, Mr. Paul Woody, for joining us on Drivin Agricultural Podcast today, and we will talk to you guys soon. I'm here today with our fierce leader, Mr. Pat Driscoll, who is the head of our team and all things AgTruckTrader Certified Ag Group. What's going through your mind today and your emotions as we've unveiled this amazing ag wagon so everybody could see it, because it's amazing, and also the relationship with the PRCA that we're building out, that you guys and your team have built out for the year coming up, 2025?
Well, the first thing that's going through my mind is a little bit of humor, because you say fearless leader, and I say if you throw a snake in the mix, you're going to see a lot of fear. There you go.
Run fast.
There you go. You got a little bit of tidbit information about Driscoll. Now, what's going through my mind right now, Jordan, is just it's almost a sense of relief in some ways. Obviously, a huge sense of excitement, but now we've got it all out there. We've been sitting on this for a while, and that's hard to do when you're sitting there wanting to tell the world you're the new truck partner of PRCA, the new truck of PRCA. Oh, and by the way, we've got the PRORODEO Special Edition AGwagon. That is a lot to sit on and not be able to share for a long time. So a sense of relief, but also it's that sense of excitement, because we're able to show the rodeo world that we're here, that we believe in this rodeo life. And as I shared in our comments during the reveal, I've really learned. I grew up Eastern agriculture. I didn't grow up rodeo, but what I have learned over the past few years, largely through you guys, our pro team, is that agriculture and rodeo are hand in glove. You guys, every time you rope, every time Clayton rides or Leighton rides, every time you guys go into a perf, everything about that is capturing and celebrating everything that is American agriculture. I don't care if you're a cotton grower in Alabama, a cherry grower in Michigan, whatever it is, what you guys do captures the spirit of American agriculture by putting on display, celebrating and performing with things that are still used in agriculture to this day. So a lot of excitement about our ability to be a part of that. And especially with this truck, we want rodeo to know we're here for you. We want to provide solutions and do things that support you guys, and this is just one way of being able to do that.
Well, and two, you have been such an advocate for rodeo The foundation of this team was built with some of our ag pack partners, but you brought it into fruition with your team, and we just appreciate that so much. But you talk about the spirit of rodeo. As I look at this Pro Rodeo Ag edition of the AgWagon, it's like there's a cowboy and cowgirl inside of every one of us, right? There's boots underneath that desk. Do you see somebody that's not maybe in rodeo or not in ag, that's a rodeo fan or an agricultural fan, ranch fan of just the culture, the way of life, driving these ag wagons?
Yeah, call it the Yellowstone effect, call it whatever you want. But we experienced this, and that's what started this whole program. Okay, you remember the Super Bowl ad that Ram did way back 12, 13 years ago now? I've given a speech 1,000 times on what happened inside that 2 minutes. There are three things that happened that really have never happened before. One is that advertising executives didn't know what to say. They were silent. They didn't know what to say. They were stunned. The second thing that happened is that everybody wanted to be a farmer because of that ad and because of the Paul Harvey speech. And the third thing that happened is farmers cried. Never happens. I feel that again with this truck, with what we've done with AgWagon, with what you guys have done with the Pro Rodeo Special Edition. This is all about you. I don't deserve any credit here. You, the other team members, folks at PRCA, Peyton Valentine, who's running that camera right now, you guys all made this truck happen. Because with the original AgWagon, we had 14 farmers and ranchers that in the end came up with 28 modifications to make to the truck to make it ag capable. Got us a long way down the road, but we had to go a little further to make it rodeo capable. You guys got us there. You made a truck that's rodeo capable now, and by the way, it looks really good too.
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
I just want to get in it. They gave me a key, but it's not working. Clayton's worked. Mine didn't. So, but I do get to get my own ag wagon here shortly.
I saw which key you had. That was actually a different key for a different truck. So I know where that truck is. I'll give you some directions afterwards. but no, again, it really comes down to capability, but being able to do it with style, providing a solution for the athletes. Your question really focused on a bigger group than the core. The core group behind this were the athletes, and you designed a truck that an athlete could feel at home in while they're on the road doing rodeo. But there's a lot of other people, even if they're a rodeo fan, they come out, they see this truck every day, and they feel like a rodeo athlete.
100%.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Well, at the end of the day, I think our biggest focus at Certified Ag is community, building community within ag. You guys have literally brought agriculture in everything that you do, from all the programs that Certified Ag offers to the rebate plans to the ag pack. Now we have the ag wagon. Like, you're literally all things ag at Certified Ag Group. And so I think that that's really neat. But one takeaway from you, that you've planted this seed, like we heard from Mr. Vickery. This seed's been planted 10 years ago, but we're seeing it come into fruition now. What's your biggest takeaway knowing it's here, you're reaping a harvest, and what's to come?
No, the biggest takeaway is that there's a lot of work to do ahead. Yeah. We planted a seed. What happens after you plant a seed? There's a lot of work that goes into making that seed into something. We've got the seed. It was planted 10 years ago. Some of the work is happening, but that plant's just starting to pop up out of the soil right now. There's still a lot of work to do to get it to harvest, and that's where we want to end up, is harvest. So with the good Lord at our side and an amazing group of athletes and partners at PRCA, at Fox Factory, all the people, all of our ag pack partners, everybody that we work with that collaborative and collective effort on all our parts, that plant's going to be healthy, and it's going to come to a good harvest.
Well, I can't wait to see where we water it and where we take it as a group. And I know as a rodeo group, we're excited. We can't wait to be driving these ag wagons all around the world at rodeos. And I know, my family's definitely going to want their ag wagon edition to get it from their ag dealers and all the things. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for coming on Drivin Agricultural Podcast, and we'll see you down the road.
Got it. Thank you, Jordan.
Hey folks, we're back here with the Drivin Agriculture podcast, but this time we're switching the driver's seat a little bit. We're going to switch it up on Jordan Jo here and put her on the passenger seat and ask you some questions about this ag wagon. So, Jordan, we just revealed the Pro Rodeo Special Edition AGwagon. That was actually one that you, as well as the other 4 members of the AgTruckTrader Pro Rodeo Team, helped design. You jumped on the phone with the Fox Factory engineers. You told them what your perfect rodeo truck would be, what your perfect ranch truck would be, and this is the product of that standing right behind us today. Tell me, how does it feel? What are you thinking? How are you feeling right now, actually seeing the result of those conversations?
I'm just blown away. I was just telling the Fox Factory people, it's like the truck has an electric atmosphere about it. And, just knowing that literally we said, what is your dream truck? And I never would have thought they could actually make it come true. But literally everything we asked for is in this truck right here. And, I think the coolest thing about it for me today is I thought that as this truck was being designed, the Pro Rodeo Edition is always exciting. But I'm like, it's going to be more geared more for an agricultural truck or a ranch truck or things like that. And as I'm walking around, like viewing all 28 components today, I can see where I'll be able to use this truck in the rodeo world throughout the year as we travel up and down the road. I think I'll use probably all but maybe 1 or 2 components, which is small, but literally this is where we live. This is what we do. And the Fox team has given us every single component we asked for in this truck. And I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Jordan. We made over 28 modifications to this vehicle from a stock truck. Let's talk about some of those features that you and the team had input on. I know Jackie, we just did an interview with her, and she was really excited to see the pet cover and the pet bed. That was in the
20 dogs.
Yeah, so she was definitely excited to see that. I know you were kind of talking about the winch and some of the other features. What are some of your favorite features on here?
Well, like as I was just walking around the truck, like you open the door, it smells like a new NFR leather jacket in there. It's got the PRC emblems in there, and I don't know, that's just so neat to see. Then you walk around, there's a CB in there, which I know not a whole lot of people use CBs, but my husband does, so I'll probably be in the passenger seat most of the time, let Raymond drive a little bit. But there's a Starlink in there. Everywhere we go, there's very few places that we have service. So there you go. We're going to have service. We're going to be connected year round to everything that we're doing, whether it's entering rodeos, managing our social medias, working on websites for me and podcasts. It's going to be, it gives you that flexibility and component of you're literally at work while you're in your truck. You step out of there. Also, you have a trailer camera component on there, which is so exciting. I know that a lot of our rough stock riders probably won't use that feature, maybe to look at their dogs in the back. But us time event people, we're going to have horses in there. So we're driving these trucks, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. We want to know how our horses are doing. So now we're going to be able to tune in there and see exactly. I'm going to be able to watch Leonard. It'll be entertaining.
And Cookie
and Leonard. It'll be really entertaining to see what those two are doing in the trailer at all times. So they've just really brought home on what we said was valuable to us. Then we walk around the front of the truck, there's a winch in there. I'm like, I don't know how many times I got stuck at Pro Rodeos this year. Now somebody on my AgTruckTrader Pro Rodeo team can pull me out. So that's exciting. The safety light features and the LED lights. There's so many places that we're driving down the road, that 2-lane roads, that we can't hardly see anything that's going on. So I'm pumped about that. And then there's LED lights all around the truck to where we pull in rodeos. There's no lights around. We can move them, adjust them, water our horses, feed our horses, build pins, whatever needs to be. Like, it literally is our home on wheels for us. In the back, there's so many accommodations. There's an air hose over there, which we could have used. Last year we had a little tire trouble. But with the Ag Pack, we got that fixed. So
thank you, Michelin.
Thank you, Michelin, for doing so. But I mean, there's so many different features on here where I think are actually applicable in the rodeo arena, at the ranch, on the farm, anything. I know my mom and dad would be able to use this truck as well as me going down the road at 100 rodeos every year. So that's what I was most excited about. I wasn't quite sure where the truck was going to cater, but I really feel like you can use it and it applies in all areas of the agricultural realm, in the rodeo realm. And I think it's pretty special that this team of AgTruckTrader Certified Ag Group was able to come together with Fox and put this together for us. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I know we're super excited about it. We're so proud of you guys and the team and all the input on this. And it's exciting just to see the outcome of that and see the product of all those conversations. I know I'm excited for it. I know the whole team's excited. So we've talked with some of our other team members a little bit, and I asked them, what's their AgWagon going to look like? Because all 5 of you guys are going to be going up and down the road to rodeo in an AgWagon Pro Rodeo Special Edition. I know several of our team members are getting some Fords. I know you want a Ram, Jordan, but I have to ask, what color are you going to get?
I don't know. I think I might want a Ford now. I've seen the Ford AgWagon Special Edition, and now I'm like, I think I want a Ford. Man, I don't know. Red is my go-to color, right? The blood of Jesus. But I don't know. Probably red or white. I love red, but it gets dirty probably often, which we're going to be rodeoing and getting in the dust and dirt. So I don't know. Raymond and I will probably have to flip a coin and see. But yeah, either red or white for me.
Yeah, I always like black vehicles, and they're beautiful when they're clean, but unfortunately in our world, they're not clean very often. So that dust definitely shows up on there. But no, and as we mentioned, you can get a Ford, you can get a Ram, GMC, Chevy, whatever domestic heavy duty or super duty truck that you want, you can get it. We're not going to back you into the corner and say you have to buy one specific brand. Hey, we'll cater to all of them, whatever you guys want. So just make sure, that you do have to buy this from a certified ag dealer. You can go on to the certifiedaggroup.com, put in your zip code, find the dealers that are closest to your area, and definitely shop around with them. You can actually find a truck on their lot that you want to get upfitted with the AgWagon or the AgWagon Pro Rodeo Special Edition package. We can definitely do that. Or you can work through our company directly to coordinate with Fox, and we'll get you a truck that way. So a few different options. We're all super excited about this, though.
And not only that, Peyton, is what we've talked about for the last 2 years is the Ag Pack and all the benefits. So to me, it literally is a summation of everything in one package now, from your AgWagon to the Ag Pack rebates to everything that comes along with it. Like, this is literally what every person in agriculture or rodeo needs right here in one package, from the truck components to the rebates that you get to the help you're getting and saving that money, which we all know matters. Every penny counts. And so I don't know. I'm just pretty excited. And I'm thankful for you guys as a team for putting all of your hard work into this. I know it's only been a year that's coming to fruition, but you guys have really been the backbone and the foundation of what we've done, and we could do it without you.
Well, we couldn't do it without you, Jordan, and I will hand the mic back over to you, give your podcast back to you. But guys, thank you for having me on Drivin Agriculture. We're all super excited to talk about this AgWagon and all good things to come. Now, Jordan, just let's get the listeners a little bit of a teaser. I think in April, we've got some pretty cool episodes coming out where we're going to do some really deep dives on the AgWagon. So tell the listeners real quick before we wrap up what they can look forward to with that.
Well, I was pretty spoiled today. Mr. Scott, I called him Vickery, but it's Vickery. He is the VP of Fox, and all the engineers were here today too. So literally they took us and walked us through step by step of what each and every one of these components were, how they designed them, what they were thought for, what that process was. And I'm like, we have got to tell our listeners, because to me, getting that knowledge and education about truly what all goes into this truck was huge. So that's what we're going to talk about in April. We're going to unpack that. And then we're also going to unpack what these dealers have at the AgPack dealers and how they can bring that and provide that to the customers and everything. And so I just think it's exciting, because we're just a community. We're a family here. We're doing all things agriculture, and we're just going to bring that to you and unpack it here in April.
Yep, absolutely. More to come here on Drivin Agriculture Podcast.